No one reached out and said, hey, you broke 1 million streams on Spotify. Here's a free plaque. I think a lot of people think that's how the music business works. Once you reach a certain milestone, the label or the RIAA or the platforms reach out and give you a plaque. Unfortunately, you have to buy these plaques. First podcast of the new year. What's going down, everyone? This is episode 80 of the Music Entrepreneur Club podcast, powered by BeatStars. BeatStars.live every Monday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're there for our free music business mentorship program. If you haven't tuned in, that's bad luck all 2021. So break the cycle, break the curse. Tune in. It's a free music business mentorship program powered by BeatStars, run by me and Dame. And I know Dame prepared a pretty lengthy New Year's speech. Do you want to do that now?
No, I didn't. I didn't actually prepare a speech, but I'm starting the year off right on a positive note, and I wore my Funk Volume hoodie and my Funk Volume hat. I haven't put this hat on for 5 years. Me and Hopsin sat down in early December and recorded a podcast that we're dropping that's out now. If you're listening to this podcast, it's out now. At least the first part of it is. And when we talk about the Funk Volume story, what happened, I think people saw different versions of what happened. I think anytime drama goes down, you hear one side, you hear the other, and then, you kind of you need to figure out on your own what's true. But the fact that both him and I are in the same room talking about it, confirming, denying certain things, like just watch the podcast and you won't need to decide who's telling the truth, because we're both in the room questioning each other, going back and forth. So it's a healthy discussion. I think there's a lot to learn from it. Obviously, we got to a pretty decent, successful place independently. And a lot of independent creators are trying to do the same thing. And I just want, if you guys do have the potential to reach that and beyond, I don't want them getting stuck up for stupid reasons or falling out of relationships for stupid reasons. And hopefully after hearing our story and hearing what we have to say, maybe you can avoid some of the pitfalls both him and I made. And that's one of the main reasons that I sat down with Hop, outside of just his and my relationship, and just kind of being on a better, just being in a better place. I just hope people can learn from this. I think it's a perfect conversation for people that follow the Music Entrepreneur Club to listen to, because I know that some people are going through the same thing, or will go through the same thing, or just have some of the same thoughts and feelings that might build up if you don't have good communication with whoever you're working with.
I'd be scared to death to have this conversation with the people that I've had major falling outs within the music business, because I just feel like it would become a disastrous argument. But I haven't seen this. I wish I had. And when I do watch it, I'm probably going to dedicate the next 4 podcast episodes to this Funk Volume podcast, and probably not for the reasons that most people think I would. I'm taking full advantage. I'm more excited about this probably than most diehard Funk Volume fans.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of, outside of the drama, I know people want to dive into the drama and get right to it. But we talk about, even prior to Funk Volume, like what was going on. And then, everything that we went through leading up to the drama, what caused the drama, what actually happened. We get to the drama for sure, but I think there's a ton of gems for, like I said, independent creators, because, I know that they're going through it. We started from ground negative, -1, -2. We didn't start at 0. I didn't have any music industry contacts, no music industry experience. Hop had a little bit of stuff going on because he was signed to Ruthless. But other than that, they weren't really doing anything with him. So we started from the bottom, and, and that's kind of why, because we've experienced this, that's probably why I'm so opinionated about that is why I'm so opinionated about certain things, because we did it. I know the path that, a lot of independent creators are trying to take. I know the importance of fans. I know how to, we basically built it fan by fan. So we talk about all that and the experiences we went through. So yeah, man, I think it's super, super helpful.
Yeah, that's why it's just so difficult, I think, for me to relate to a lot of people who like, I look at the ecosystem as being on a level playing field in general. Just, if you're a producer who just started yesterday, you and I are in the same space. It doesn't matter that I've been doing this for longer. We're in the same space. We're sharing the same ecosystem, and your actions might affect me. My actions might affect you, but experience does really dictate how we interact, because I think a lot of people, and I was the same way when I first started, I believed a whole lot of things that weren't true about the music business, especially at the independent level or the unsigned DIY level. So I think, for you, well, you're constantly getting attacked about your funk volume tenure, and of course people don't know the story and they haven't walked in your shoes, and it is what it is. They have their opinions, but their opinions aren't based on experience. I feel the same way, where someone will say, man, I don't understand why you got to be annoyed with producers who are DMing you, sending you beats. They're just trying. You did the same thing. I'm like, well, I didn't do the same thing, and you haven't walked in my shoes. And I'm at the point where I get so many DMs that my girlfriend started taking over my Instagram DMs just to kind of sort through the messages. And now she's in a bad mood because she sees that 9 out of 10 people sending me a DM are just using me as a means to an end, and at a certain point, that does start affecting the way that you view the landscape, unfortunately. And I think she was of the opinion that I was being over dramatic when I was talking about my DMs. Like, people really are just in there to try to use people. And when she started seeing them, she would give them a chance, like someone who would just send a link and nothing else, not even a hello. It was just a link. She would listen to them. And, if they were good, and this is the part that kills me, if they're good, she would play it for me and say they're really good. I'm like, yeah, they spammed us, or they spammed me, but they are good. If you want to give them a chance, send them a message and say, do you want to work on something? And I don't think a single one of them actually responded by saying, yeah, let's work on something. Because for me, at the end of the day, it's about making good music. So if someone's dope, even if they spam me and they're good, I still might want to work with them. And most of these,
what do you consider? What in the message? Because let's figure out so people understand. Like, what's the difference between spam and just a cold DM?
I think they're in the same category, but the majority of the DMs that I get are just a link and nothing else. No personalization. They just copied a YouTube link. They just copied a Spotify link, sent me the link, nothing else. Or they sent me the link with a call to action, like, here's a link, share it.
So you sometimes respond to people that just send a link?
I used to, and then I got fed up with it because it's like you don't actually want to form a relationship with me. And it got to the point where, I'm getting hundreds of these. And so it's just hard to sort through. I'm trying to run a business and live my life and pay my bills. It makes it really hard when I have to spend hours a day sorting through DMs that are just people trying to waste my time and get a play off.
That's an easy way to get rid of a lot of them. Like, I don't even open stuff that's just a link. If I see it, just delete right away. Like,
no, I'm the same way, but I'm saying that's why she started sorting through the messages, but she was less jaded than me. You know what I mean? So because she's only been doing it for a couple of months, but like almost immediately when she would respond back to someone that would spam and she'd say, hey, she's pretending to be me, or she's representing me. Like, your music is good. Why don't you check out some of these beats? Let me know what you like. And she sent a link to them. And it's not even me trying to sell them a beat necessarily. It's just like, let's talk about us working together because you're talented. And then it's always like, yo, well, can you just spin my next record? Here's another link. Here's another link. Here's another link. Here's another. It's like, fuck, man, I'm trying to fucking work with you. You're DMing me your music. That conversation keeps coming up on social media, and people are like, why do these big time producers and why do these big time rappers get so frustrated? It's because we're being flooded. I'm not a big time producer. I can't imagine if I were. I wouldn't even use social media if I were at like the Murder Beats level or the Illmind level. And God bless both of them because they're still on social media. They must meditate a whole lot because it's just exhausting to have 100 people in your DM. And for them, it's probably more like 2,500. in your DMs just trying to drain your energy, because that's literally what you're doing.
So I gotta push back on this a bit, Payne. Like, why is it so? I don't understand why it's so exhausting. Well, like, I just realized in Instagram, like, I'm missing most of my DMs because I just on that, not the general. There's like three.
Yeah,
tabs,
the hidden.
right? Like
Yeah,
primary, general, and then that other one where most people will probably reach out if you're not following them. And I just realized that there's a ton of DMs in there because I never filtered for all DMs versus
right.
top. I think it says top DMs versus all.
Yeah.
But why I don't need, like, why do you allow this to frustrate? Like, I don't care. Like, you reach out, like, if there's hella, I mean, I'm just not getting back to a lot of people, but why does this drain you though? I don't understand. Why does it drain you?
I'm not at the point where I can afford to ignore people. So if
business comes through, so what primary business comes through your DM that you want, that you're looking for, or that you?
I mean, I'm running ads on my BeatStars constantly through Instagram. So okay. A lot of people will express an interest in a track, and they'll have a questions. I'm like, cool, just DM me, because I don't want to just post my email all the time. So I'll just say, yeah, DM me if you already like what you hear, DM me, or artists reach out to me, artists that I want to work with. So I do check my DMs. So I've Eric Sermon DM'd me on Instagram. So and when we didn't follow each other, so that went into that request folder. So I can't afford not to check the request folder, because
wow,
it's not necessarily because some legend is DMing me. It could just be someone who started rapping yesterday, but they are interested in a beat. So I want to be able to respond to them.
I think you just have to approach it because to me, it just sounds like it's customer service.
Yeah,
it is annoying. Like, it is annoying. I still handle some of the emails that come through for Big Jobs merch. Like, anybody that has customer service knows how ridiculous people are and the dumb questions people ask. Like, it was literally Christmas. Somebody emailed and was upset that nobody had gotten back to them in 2 days, and it was like Christmas Eve and Christmas. I was like, so you expect a response in less than 24 hours on Christmas? Like, and I think maybe it probably annoyed me a little bit in the beginning, and then I realized that, like, this is just a part of customer service. Like, this is just, people are going to ask stupid questions, they're going to say stupid things, they're going to have ridiculous demands, but it's just something you deal with. I would think as long as you've been in the game, Payne, like, this doesn't, like, you're used to it by now. Like,
no. Look, that's not what I'm saying. I'm absolutely used to it. I did express some frustration with people who are talented, who reach out to people that they want to work with. So if you reach out to me because I don't know, maybe you think I'm someone that you do want to collaborate with, stop just sending me links. If I respond and say, you're good, do you want to work together? Or, what are you working on? And it's just link. Well,
I don't think they're trying to link then. Like, I really,
no, they're not trying to network, but that's the narrative though. It's always like, why is DJ Payne one such an asshole? Cause he doesn't want to, open my DM. And it's like, when I open your DM, you don't want to treat me as a human. You just, so it is what it is. Here's a recent example. Someone went on a music entrepreneur Clubhouse and was like, DJ Payne one disrespected my record label so bad. Why would he do that? We wanted to network with him and he disrespected us. I can't respect that. So I just responded, post a screenshot. And he posted a screenshot, and literally it was a screenshot of them adding me to their email list and me saying, please remove me from this list. And that was the disrespect. So suddenly I have all these people around me because I have a bad reputation in certain circles. It's hilarious because some people are like, yeah, I had a really great experience with him. Some people are like, I had a really terrible experience with him. He's one step below Hitler because he sent me this email asking me to be removed from a list that he didn't ask to be added to in the first place. And I'm just like, come on, guys, this is a waste of everyone's energy. But yeah, I mean, to bring it back to what you were saying, I kind of hijacked the conversation. It's hard for you, if you grinded it out really seriously with Funk Volume at the ground level. And I feel like I've done the same, like going on tour for months and sleeping on floors and couches will change your perspective on the music business. It just will. So, and a lot of people can't relate to that. Working 16 hours a day for 5 years consistently, 10 years consistently, which is what I do, will change your perspective. And we are all part of the ecosystem, but our levels of commitment and levels of experience aren't the same. And so it's oftentimes hard for us to relate and communicate effectively because of it.
I mean, I hope people watch the whole podcast because, you know, I think that, you know, a lot of the comments that I got at the end were, you know, Hopsin made you rich. Why did you do this to Hopsin? Like they totally didn't understand the role that I played in the label. They didn't understand where I was already prior to coming into Funk Volume. Like I had a pretty successful job. Well, I had gotten laid off, but I was making good money. I was making over 6 figures. Like, so this wasn't me looking for a come up. This was me actually just wanting to help my brother in the beginning. Like that's really all it was. Like and you know, if I'm coming off, I could have gotten a job that would have paid me 6 figures again, but I opted to start a record label. So I think people need to understand, yeah, I might have just in real dollars, I might have put up, you know, 20 grand. But if I'm working on something for a year, instead of going to get a job that was going to pay me over 100 grand, like that's money that is invested too. My time, you know, where I'm at in my career, you know, it may not be, you may not be able to say, okay, you know, that's $100,000 that Dame put into Funk Vault, but it's close. Like that, you have to account for that as well, you know. And if I'm not getting paid for 2 years, you know, that just me, the value of me is worth over $100,000 because I could have went into the market and got that. And it's not the same market, so I know it's not apples to apples, but you know, people need to understand that too. Like I invested my time and money into this. You know, I paid for Hopsin's rent, you know, occasionally in the beginning. Like we started from the bottom. So, you know, when I see people that don't understand all of the work that was put in to get where we were, you know, it's fine. I just know they don't get it. But, you know, that's why some of those comments are just completely ridiculous because they don't understand what it takes to get to where we were. It's not, obviously it takes talented artists first and foremost, but that's not all it takes. You know, and I hope that's one of the things that people understand when they hear, you know, Hop and I talk for 4 hours, essentially.
Well, we relate, Dame. That's all I'm saying about my DMs. It's this lack of understanding that becomes vitriolic and disrespectful simply because people can't put themselves in your position, my position, anyone else's position, or they choose not to because they're more attracted to a quick explanation, which is Dame is a bad person, Payne is a jerk, so-and-so is a jerk, the industry is rigged against me, independent artists, unsigned artists can't succeed. And really at the end of the day, we're humans and a human being can't be.
We relate, but I just think that, you know, I kind of feel bad. I'm at a point now where I feel bad when I hear or see comments where I know people just don't understand or just stupid. Like, oh yeah, I honestly just feel bad for them. Like I don't have, like, it doesn't mess up my, I'm not saying it messes up your day, but like it doesn't mess up my day. It doesn't really bother me like that. Like I don't even need to talk about it really. It just, I kind of feel bad where people are and how ignorant some people are. That's just kind of where I'm at with it.
I have to do better at, I try. I have to do better to express and showcase and I guess post content that's more revealing of how fun my life is, because a lot of people, I think the small window that people get into my life can oftentimes just be negative. So I need to well,
you do need to understand, like, your humor, like in the comments, I understand why people think you're disrespectful, like just how short some of your comments are. And, you know, I get it. And I think you get it too. and I know you wanted to talk about a few other things. On
just one other thing
that we should probably get to. I know, because I have something too. But yeah, I think you know why some people think you're an asshole. Like, I know why some people think I'm an asshole, because when certain things happen and I respond a certain way, like I know, like, because sometimes I'm trying to be, and sometimes I am an asshole. Like, I get it. I'm not completely clueless. Like, oh, how can this person think I'm an asshole? Because they made a stupid comment and I said something smart back. It wasn't laced with profanity or anything like that. It was just me trying to reveal how stupid you are through usually a line of questioning.
I guess I still don't understand, because if I'm walking down the street and someone kicks me in the chest and I punch him in the neck, why am I the asshole? Because that's why I feel like there's something very wrong with my brain. But anyway, we'll move on, because I do want to talk about some really ugly headlines that, oh God, have been appearing in the kind of the dominant hip hop media. So I think we've said this before. Media publications are not experts on the music business. They're just not. And a lot of these writers don't know what the hell they're talking about, straight up. And Ace Hood had this beautiful moment with his wife. And I think this resonated with a lot of people, especially unsigned artists. And I believe Ace Hood is signed to an independent, but unsigned artists can relate, because it was this beautiful moment where his wife bought him a plaque to commemorate his millions and millions of streams on his recent releases, now that he's off of a major label. And, to be supported like that by your partner is something that we all would love to have. However, some of these publications, and, to many people's disappointment, some people don't have that much faith in these publications to begin with, hijacked that moment and turned it into this moment to miseducate and further, in my opinion, disrespect unsigned and independent artists. Because the headline read on XXL, the headline read, it's a tweet actually, Ace Hood hasn't been getting plaques because he went independent. So his wife got him his first indie ones. That sounds like a fine headline. It doesn't sound bad, but it's full of so much misinformation. The WorldsStar one is way worse. It says Ace Hood gets a personal plaque. What is a personal plaque? All plaques are personal if they have your name on them. Anyway, from his wife, since he no longer can get one, being an independent artist. Since he no longer can get one, being an independent artist. I don't know if you've ever, that's the same plaque right there. Made by the same people, the same company, Jewel Box Platinum. They make these plaques. I don't think any other company is authorized to make plaques with the Spotify logo to commemorate 1 million or more streams. I got this because getting 1 million streams on a song that I recorded in a bedroom meant a lot to me with someone else from my city. And, my name was on it. All I had to do was email Jewel Box Platinum. They saw that the numbers were, over 1 million. So they, gave me the plaque. They didn't give it to me. No one reached out and said, hey, you broke 1 million streams on Spotify. Here's a free plaque. I think a lot of people think that's how the music business works. Once you reach a certain milestone, the label or the RIAA or the platforms reach out and give you a plaque. They don't do that. BeatStars does that, but YouTube does it, but no one else does that. The music business doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, you have to buy these plaques. Even if you're signed to a major in some cases, you have to pay for a Grammy too. Like it's crazy that people have to do that, but producers especially are not in almost every case are not getting their plaques for free. They have to order them. So I have 2 RIAA plaques. I've never been signed to a major. Well, for these ones, I was not signed to a major label artist. Or sorry, I wasn't signed to a major. I'm just me. I'm DJ Payne 1. I'm signed to myself. I can get these plaques because I was on a project that the RIAA certified as gold or platinum. I just have to contact Jewelbox and say, here's my name. Can you get the authorization? Yes, cool. I want to order this plaque. Send them $300 and I get it. Now, this headline makes it seem like Ace Hood is no longer, well, it doesn't make it seem, it says it. He's no longer eligible to get plaques because he's no longer on a major label. And that's bullshit. It's a lie. And of course people are going to believe it because WorldStar and XXL and these other platforms have such a wide reach. So it just makes it seem like independent artists and unsigned artists, even an independent artist on Ace Hood's level, he got 78 million streams. That's what it says on the plaque. That's a great number, and his wife did a really beautiful thing for him by buying it to commemorate. But these are the same plaques that a major label artist can get. So had Ace's independent, trust me, independent artists are going gold and platinum. It's happening on Empire all the time. Tyga's on Empire. You think, what was Tyga's last big, huge hit?
Taste. Yeah,
Taste. Taste went, I don't know how many times platinum. Of course he got an RIAA plaque for that. With streaming, your album has to go the streaming equivalent. So like gold is 500,000 sales on an album, right? And the streaming equivalent is 15,000 per sale. So that means that in order to go gold off of streams, and they have to be US streams, there's this whole formula. It sucks. So it's not just streams in general, but it's specific kinds of streams. But if you get the right kind of streams, you need 750 million of them on your album in order to go gold. So Ace Hood is at 78 million. If he had gotten 750 million, he could have gotten a gold plaque. So it's not that he's ineligible. It's that maybe he doesn't have the same kind of push that he had, being signed to whatever major he was signed to before. But I hate these headlines because why are these publications inserting themselves into the music business and discouraging independent and unsigned artists like that with terrible information, calling things personal plaques?
I don't think that was their intention. I think they're just ignorant when it comes to stuff like this. Of course, independent artists can get plaques. I think Hop got two of them. Hop got one for Sag My Pants and one for Illmind 5. And he probably has another one for Illmind 8, to be honest, because that shit has a ridiculous amount of views and streams. For those that don't know, Illmind 8 is the one that was directed towards me.
Do you get a plaque for that? You should.
I should. But yeah, I mean, once as an independent though, if you're by yourself or if you're with a label, you just have to, submit to RIAA and get it certified, and then you'll get a plaque. Now there is a difference between, I think if you're happy about whatever you did and you want to get a plaque to commemorate that, if you got a plaque for your first 100 streams, whatever. But there is a difference between some of these Spotify, million stream plaques and like the RIAA, like actually gold and platinum certified plaques. So I do want people to know that. I mean, you can get a plaque made for whatever, for 10,000 streams, whatever, you can just get it made by whoever you want to make it. But if you want something certified, your streams for gold, or if you think a song has reached gold or platinum status, those will need to be certified before you get like an official plaque. But I think people should celebrate their success. If you feel happy and confident and you're just excited that you reached a certain milestone, celebrate it. Hopefully it's just a small win to build on and you keep going. Don't rest on it, but celebrate and build on any success that you feel happy about. That's what I would encourage.
Yeah, but I mean, just to be clear, like I could go to the trophy store and get a trophy for, the dopest bowler on the planet and I can't bowl, but I can get myself a trophy that says that. You can't get a Spotify 1 million streams commemoration from Jewelbox without actually having your name on the project and having 1 million streams. And so I see that as a
Jewelbox, but you can get it made. I mean,
you can get it made, but it's going to look weird. You might be able to get it off of Jewelbox, but like with these, you know, 1 million streams, for me, it was just like, wow, we did it 1 million streams. I want to celebrate that. It's a small win, but it means a lot to me. 78 million is what Ace Hood's wife commemorated. That's a lot. That's great. Like I said, if he had gotten 750 million, that might be, you know, gold. That he might be eligible for an RIAA gold certification. So the RIAA certifications are at a higher level of sales and streams. But, you know, Billboard, if your album charts on Billboard, you can get a plaque, an official Billboard plaque, also from the same company. So I don't want to call one less official than the other because they're all official. They're just different platforms. Billboard is a big platinum. Spotify is a big, I said platinum. Billboard is a big platform. Spotify is a big platform. The RIAA is, I think, regarded as a bigger accomplishment because the threshold is much higher. But, you know, I like you said, if you're not celebrating your small wins, you're gonna drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ace Hood is super underrated to me. I think I've always thought he was a dope rapper because he's got, you know, he's from the hood, but he's got, you know, he's got that consciousness to him. Like he's to me, he's very positive rapper.
Yeah,
you know, he's always doing positive stuff with his family and working out on Instagram and stuff like that. He's one of the rappers that I follow. Because I think he's dope. He's a dope rapper, and it seems like he's, you know, a good person. I don't know him personally, but you know, I definitely support the stuff that he does.
I feel like everybody stole his cadence and ran with it after Hustle Hard came out, but that's another conversation. So I know you wanted to end the podcast by touching on another topic.
Yeah, and it came out of Clubhouse once again, and it was about luck. And I got into a little bit of not an argument, but just a debate on Clubhouse on because I think a lot of artists will say that it takes a certain amount of luck to be successful in the music industry. And that's just not something that I agree with, you know, and it's fair to have your opinion because this is not, you know, I guess I can't necessarily prove it to you, but it's weird to me that the artists that keep winning or the ones that keep getting lucky are the ones that, you know, work on their craft, are consistent with the content they put out, educate themselves, build healthy relationships. The ones that can consistently do this time and time are the ones that continue to get lucky, right? Because I understand that there can be a factor of luck and you can pick out some, you know, example here and there where someone did get lucky. But overall, you know, that even if you do get lucky to stay in the music industry and to continue having success, that's not going to be luck. I understand that there's luck in terms of like the position that you were born into. You know, maybe you were born into a wealthy family, or maybe you were born with some natural talent. I'm not talking about, I understand that there is luck, and I understand some people can get lucky, but because there was an example that it was like some record label exec, he was like, it was lucky that we found this person because they showed up in our Explorer page, and that's how I found them, right? Like, I guess an artist that they found on Instagram showed up in their Explorer page, and that's how they found them. Yeah, maybe that's just kind of a one-off, you know, maybe you just came across that person. It was like, or maybe that person has been being shown in a lot of Explorer page because they built up a presence. And now when they put out content, you know, it, instead of getting lucky and hitting, you know, a few Explorer pages, you have a big presence and you're hitting millions of people Explorer pages. Payne, what would you say? What percentage would you say would you call something luck? Like if something happened to you with a 10% chance, with a 20% chance, at what point are you not necessarily lucky? Like if something happens with a 60% likelihood, is that luck to you?
I don't think we can even put we can't really
So there's no right answer to this, but like at what point is something not lucky? I would definitely say if something has a greater than 50% chance, it's not luck.
Yeah, I just don't know how we would quantify the likelihood of success in the music business. It's just it's God, man.
But I guess what I'm getting at is, if somebody's just starting out and then they get found by somebody because they're good at what they do, there can be an element of luck. So let's just say you don't meet that person at stage 0, but you continue to put out content, you continue to engage with your fans, you continue to get better at what you do. And as you do that, the likelihood that you're going to attract the right people that can help your career increases dramatically, right? So if somebody does get plucked from stage 0, then okay, there's a little bit of luck in that. But what I'm saying is we all have the ability to invest in ourselves, be consistent, get better at what we do. And as we do that, the likelihood of attracting the right people goes up and up and up. I would say it goes up to the 80s and 90% if you continue to do what you're doing, right? Sure. And even with Funk Volume is a testament to that. Like nobody was checking for us in the beginning, but as our numbers started to grow, as we stayed consistent, people started reaching out to us. Booking agents started reaching out to us. Like publications started reaching out to us. That's not luck. That's us putting in the work and being consistent. And that's what's going to most likely happen for independent creators than somebody finding you at ground 0 or level 1 or even level 2. But I think that a lot of artists see that happen at ground 0 and 1 and 2, and they want that. They want to get plucked from 0 and 1 and 2 as opposed to putting in the work and putting themselves on level 4, 5, 6, and 8, where you have a 60, 70, 80% chance of people coming in to help because they want the luck route because it's easier, right? So you're going to find more people in these A&R rooms at Clubhouse, right? You're going to find more people like doing things to try to get lucky as opposed to putting in the work and really increasing your chances of having success to a point where it's almost guaranteed. And that's really what I was trying to explain to this cat, because I think for the most part, artists want there to be an element of luck that's required so that they'll have an excuse of why they failed. Like, I just didn't get lucky. I just didn't get lucky. And it wasn't, that's really what they're looking for, an excuse that's out of their control. So they can say, well, I was dope. I just didn't get lucky. Like, nah, we have the ability now to increase the percentage chances to almost guaranteed, to almost 100%. And to be honest with you, I would say 100%. I would say that because we don't need anybody, depending on what your goal is, if you're just trying to make good money in this industry, you can put in the work to where it's 100% likely that you're going to be able to make a living in music.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just a really problematic conversation to have because number one, people are going to debate the hell out of the concept of success. So you might say success is making $75,000 a year, and someone who's, not even nearly a professional in music is going to say, no, that's a failure. You got to be Drake to be successful. So right then and there, you can't have that conversation.
We established a baseline in this, and I think it was six figures.
But that's possible. And I don't know how to define luck. Like, I feel like that, we had Ted Park on, I can't point. We had Ted Park on the podcast, and we had no idea what we were in for when we released this song. We just put it out, and was it luck that it got picked up by Fresh Finds? I don't know. Maybe it was just a good song and they liked it. Was it luck that they saw it? I don't know how to define or quantify luck here. Was it lucky that I got my first major placement out of nowhere and I'm just some guy sitting in an office in Madison, Wisconsin, you know, preparing a lesson for high schoolers on the weekend? I don't know. Maybe it was just timing. I don't know. Cause nobody cared. Like Young Jeezy didn't care that I had been doing this since I was a kid. He didn't care that I had been playing shows and you know, selling CDs hand to hand for 5 years before I even got a beat to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
I think it's easy to take like one instance and call it luck, right? Where,
right.
You know, because I think with some people, they only have like one shot. Like they took one shot, and if that one hits, then maybe it's luck. But if you're talented and you're consistent and you're sending out beats to a bunch of different people and you're really dope and you know you start hitting, it's because you put in the time to get good at what you do. It's because you know how to interact with people and you know how to communicate with people and you're a professional like that. Yeah, you can get lucky. Like I'm not saying that luck doesn't exist. And maybe somebody does just take one shot. Like they didn't do anything. All they did was send an email to Diddy. He happened to get it and they put him on and that could happen. But to risk your entire career or to place your entire career on a roulette wheel is ridiculous. Like, to that's really what it's like. You are placing your entire career on a roulette wheel and you got one spin. Is what I'm saying is that you can play roulette, but you can increase your chances and you can get 50 spins. Because if you get 50 spins and you hit, that's not luck. If you get one spin and you hit, that's probably luck. And I think that's the best analogy that I can put. Like that's what it's like if you really pursue music the right way.
Yeah, I think we agree on that, but I think mostly what we agree on is the concept of not viewing your career as a single shot. And I think the people who don't focus on fans, but they focus on impressing the music industry and trying to get some type of, you know, lucky moment with the A&R, with a CEO, with a celebrity, they're the ones who are putting all of their eggs in that one basket. Whereas, you know, if and a lot of recording artists contact me, you know, if they have gotten a beat from me or something, they'll say, you know, I'm trying to do radio. What's the best way? I'm trying to get signed to a label. What's the best way? And my advice is always, don't ever make that your central goal. Don't ever make a radio campaign shouldn't be a goal, especially not for an unsigned artist. A label deal shouldn't be a goal, especially not for an unsigned artist. If it happens, it happens. And I'm sure some people are going to disagree with me, but I think you and I agree that if you focus on your brand and building fans, no matter what happens, if you do that effectively, you have succeeded. You know, if you can build 1,000 fans from zero, which isn't that many, simply by focusing on, you know, fan by fan, person by person, day by day, within 5 years, maybe you're not signed to Def Jam, but you're still making 80,000 a year with a combination of streaming revenue, merchandising, touring, album sales, and so forth, simply because you built your brand up person by person, fan by fan, and really invested your energy in making the best content and presenting it to the people that actually want it, rather than spending all of your energy and time trying to knock on an A&R's door every single day to convince them to do something for you that you could do for yourself.
And that's the frustrating thing. Like on Clubhouse, I think the music rooms, the ones that have A&R in the title, like have the most people. And half the time it's not even real A&Rs in these rooms, right? So instead of trying to connect and build with fans, like you're in these rooms trying to play their music for people that not interested in listening to your music. They're trying to get as many people into these rooms so they'll get more followers. They don't give a shit about your music. They're trying to get more followers. If you want a bigger room on Clubhouse, just say all the A&Rs are listening to music right now, come join. And you'll have hella people in that room. And then you'll probably have another room where there are some people that really know what they're talking about, trying to give you some marketing gems, but it doesn't sound as sexy. And it'll be a lot less people in that room. But you're in this other room with fake A&Rs that are just trying to get more followers on Clubhouse. And it's like, if that is what you're doing, then yes, you are going to need luck, a lot of it. So good luck to you. that's how that works.
On that note, if you want value off of Clubhouse, our free music business mentorship program meets twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. on BeatStars.live. You can also text a number that Dame knows by heart in order to get updates every time we go live.
Text MEC to 844-206-7800. You'll get an alert before we go live. I don't have another session, so I'm off January 4th, and I'll be back January 11th. And I think I have a guest from the MLC, which is something that's not sexy, but people are going to need to know because it's another way for you to collect royalties that are owed to you. So check that out. And also check out the Funk Volume podcast. It's out today, Monday, January 4th. I would love your comments and feedback on it. But I think it's something that a lot of independent creators are going to get a lot of value out of. So yeah, let me know what you guys think.
Once again, appreciate you tuning in. Be prepared for a bunch of Funk Volume rants from me in the upcoming episodes. Till then, peace, everyone.
Peace.